If you plan on taking a dual enrollment course, there are some important things you need to know about the dual enrollment program and application process. In this session, I will cover how to complete the 3 required forms: the dual enrollment grant, the Bryan College application, and the CAK authorization form. First of all, what is a dual enrollment course? Dual enrollment is a college-level course that can be taken by high school students, allowing them to receive both high school and college credit simultaneously. Most of these courses will provide students with a half of a high school credit as well as 3 college credits each semester. There are many advantages and benefits to taking dual enrollment. One is that students will receive a weighted GPA point. This means, for example, that a student who makes an A in this course would receive a 5.0 rather than a 4.0 calculated into their GPA for that class. Another benefit is that each of these classes counts as one of the 4 required advanced level courses for students pursuing the honors diploma. So, knowing that AP and dual enrollment are both college level courses, what are some of the differences between the two? One difference is the criteria for receiving college credit. For an AP course, credit is generally contingent upon a student's AP exam score. A score of 3, 4, or 5 often earns a student college credit. Keep in mind, though, that each college or university has different criteria and policies for awarding credit, and it is the student's responsibility to get that information. Whether or not a student receives college credit, taking rigorous courses such as AP or dual enrollment makes them better prepared for their college experience. If a student is trying to decide between an AP and a dual enrollment course, it's important that they know that AP is generally perceived as the more rigorous option. This is because advanced placement classes are based upon national standards, while dual enrollment courses are based upon state and local standards, which may vary by institution. Generally, a strong academic student who is planning on taking AP would keep that as their first choice. A student who planned on taking CP but meets the eligibility criteria for dual enrollment and would like an opportunity to earn college credit might consider dual enrollment. A complete list of similarities and differences can be found on the AP and dual enrollment comparison chart. So what are the eligibility criteria for dual enrollment? First of all, a student must be a high school junior or senior. A student is considered a junior the summer following their sophomore year and is designated as a senior the summer after their junior year. Students cannot take dual enrollment courses the summer after their senior year because they are considered college freshmen. There are 3 forms to complete in order to apply for dual enrollment. The first is the CAK authorization form. This is a checklist of important facts and information about dual enrollment. It's imperative that students and parents read over this closely and carefully to make sure they understand how the dual enrollment process works. Note that the items that are boxed in towards the bottom of the page may only apply to classes taken off campus and not to classes offered by Bryan College at CAK. Next, students should complete the online Bryan College application. You'll find a link to this application in the email. Remember that classes that are graduation requirements must be taken on campus at CAK, and elective courses may be taken off campus with a local college or university. Also, be sure to get the approval of your school counselor before registering for any online or off-campus dual enrollment course. The last application that students need to complete for dual enrollment is the dual enrollment grant application. This qualifies students for state funding to help cover the cost of these classes. The state of Tennessee has appropriated money to help cover the cost of dual enrollment courses for high school students. In order to receive this money, students must complete an online application. The grant provides $500 for each of the first 2 courses, plus $200 towards the 3rd course. Please note that no grant funding is offered for the 4th course. Students who know for sure that they will be attending college out of state may want to consider borrowing from their Hope Scholarship for their 5th through 8th classes, since Hope does not provide funding for out-of-state colleges. They may receive $100 per credit hour, which covers $300 for a 3-credit class. Each college sets its own tuition rates, so make sure to confirm the tuition cost with the college before registering. Keep in mind that there may be some additional expenses associated with taking dual enrollment courses. Textbooks are not included in the cost of tuition. This expense must be covered by the family. Books for dual enrollment classes taught at CAK will be purchased by the school in order to pass along the benefit of bulk pricing and ensure that students have their books when classes start. Remember that these books can be sold after the student completes the class, just like in college. In order to keep grant funding, students must maintain a 2.75 college GPA. If a student loses grant funding, they may continue taking dual enrollment classes if they remain eligible, but they must cover the cost of tuition. Keep in mind, this cost still represents a very discounted rate, meant to promote participation in the program. Also, if you decide to drop one of these classes at any point, make sure to notify the college right away. If the class is dropped before the semester begins, there will be no charge, but the longer a student waits to drop, the greater the charge will be. During the first week, there will be a $50 fee assessed. The dual enrollment grant does not cover this charge. Once the second week of the course begins, the student will be charged the $50 administrative fee in addition to 50% of the tuition rate. The Tennessee Dual Enrollment Grant will cover the tuition charged, but this will utilize a full grant disbursement. If a student waits until after the final drop period to move out of the course, the grade entered on a student's college transcript will be a WF, which calculates as an F and may compromise that student's grant eligibility going forward. A student's college GPA for dual enrollment courses is only used to determine grant eligibility, however, and will not be calculated into their actual freshman college GPA. The application for the dual enrollment grant must be completed online. It can be found by Google searching the Tennessee Dual Enrollment Grant. The first link that you see will direct you to the tennessee.gov website. At the top of the page, select Online Application, and then click to register or sign in if you already have an account. In order to create a login, the student will need to enter some personal information, including their Social Security number. Be careful to make sure that you follow the formatting guidelines, or several fields will light up with red letters, and it may be difficult to determine which field has an error. If this happens, look through your responses carefully and try to identify and resolve the error. If you try this several times with no change, you may need to have your account reset. To do that, you can contact the Tennessee Student Assistance Corporation directly or stop by the school counseling office for help. One suggestion from TSAC is that students may want to use their password as a response to each of the challenge questions here in order to save time and avoid confusion. Make sure to record your username and password and security question responses somewhere so that you can access them in the future. Once you've created your account, log into your TSAC student portal. In the top left of your home page, you will select the tab that says Apply for Scholarships. On that menu, you will select the Dual Enrollment Grant application for 2018 through 2019. Once you've agreed to the terms of use, you will be asked to fill out some more personal information. Read the questions under the Additional Student Information section carefully. They will expect the answers to read no, 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 yes. If you are currently a sophomore but will be a junior taking your dual enrollment course, select yes for the question that asks if you've completed your 10th grade year. If you will be taking a class on campus at CAK, be sure to select Bryan College under the College University Information section. Press the Continue button to save your application. Once you submit that application, you have completed the application process for the dual enrollment grant. You can check the status of your application by navigating back to the home page and selecting View Financial Summary in the top right corner. For now, the status should say Pending Verification. Next, let's take a look at the Bryan College application. I've emailed out a link to make this easy for you to access. Once you click the link, you'll be directed to the application. You'll need your Social Security number, GPA, and the last 4 digits of your parent's Social Security numbers ready. There are a few questions you might not be sure how to answer. I will go over these with you to help ensure that you're able to fill out this application completely and correctly. Make sure to take your time and read over this page carefully, because it has some important information about the course you're registering for. Please review the table to ensure that you understand the pricing structure for these courses. Textbooks are not included in this cost, and will be billed to you by CAK's business office in the spring semester. All other charges and payments will be handled by Bryan College. If you owe dual enrollment tuition to Bryan College, please be sure to pay your balance right away. If you're not sure if or how much you owe, you can check your My Bryan account or contact Bryan College's dual enrollment office. On the chart at the bottom of this page, you'll notice that the dual enrollment grant covers the tuition distributions for the first 2 courses. This could be 2 classes in 1 semester or 2 courses over 2 semesters, but it's important that you're aware that after those 2 first payments are made on your behalf, you will be responsible for any additional tuition owed. You may want to screenshot this chart for future reference. When it asks if you will be applying for the dual enrollment grant, be sure to select yes. When it asks about how much of the grant you used, you'll select the number of semesters you will have completed by the time you take the class you're signing up for. If you have not taken any dual enrollment courses, you should select none as your response. If you're taking dual enrollment college writing and dual enrollment U.S. history currently, and are in the process of signing up for dual enrollment world literature, you would select 4 because you will have completed 2 semesters in each of the 2 courses you are currently enrolled in. The next question asks about previous courses and where they were taken. So using the previous example, we would list college writing and U.S. history through Bryan College. If you have not taken any dual enrollment courses, put NA. When it asks if you're planning on taking dual enrollment courses with any other college, you need to consider whether or not you will be taking any online dual enrollment courses or dual enrollment courses over the summer. If so, list the institution if any of those courses will not be through Bryan College. Remember that if your answer is yes to this question, you must email Beth Hickson at the address provided on the previous page. If not, reply NA. The first page of course offerings listed is for the summer. Note that the cost listed next to each course reflects the tuition prior to the application of any scholarship or grant funding. For dual enrollment grant purposes, the summer semester constitutes the first semester of the 2018-19 school year. If you don't plan on taking any summer courses, hit Next to proceed to the fall course offerings. The first 2 courses on this page are online course offerings, and the last 3 classes will be taught on campus at CAK. If you choose one of the online options, the supervised study hall will be put into your schedule to provide a place, time, and support resources to help you navigate and complete the class. The FERPA waiver is a release form. By signing this authorization, a student is giving Bryan College permission to share their records and information with their parents and school representatives. Please list each parent that this applies to and list Christian Academy of Knoxville in the blank designated for your school. The last page reflects your acknowledgement of Bryan College's policies pertaining to dual enrollment. Please look over these carefully and make sure you understand the charges and deadlines associated with dropping a course. Remember that the dual enrollment grant will not cover any portion of the administration charges that are allocated if you withdraw from the course. Once you finish this page, click Submit and your Bryan College application will be complete. We have one last form to go over. This is the only paper form that you will complete for dual enrollment, and it should be turned in with your 2018-19 registration form to the school counseling office. If you will be taking a class taught on campus at CAK, just the top portion of this form should be filled out. But if you plan to take an online or off-campus dual enrollment course, be sure to check off each item in the bottom box as well. It's important that you read over these statements carefully, since each is truly important for you to understand. At this point, you should have completed 3 forms to qualify you for a dual enrollment course: the Bryan College application, the dual enrollment grant application, and the CAK authorization form. Once you've successfully completed each of them, the application process is complete. If you have trouble, still have questions, or need assistance, please stop by the school counseling office. We're always glad to help.